Hey CCF, I want you to think about when you were a kid and you went into the kitchen and you were thirsty, you went and you grabbed yourself a drink, but not just any drink, right? When we were kids, a lot of times what we like to do, and I know I love to do, was take out the milk, but you can't just drink milk by itself. You have to have some chocolate syrup there with it. And so you poured in that syrup and then you took a spoon, you put it in, and you stirred it. And when you stirred it, something magical happened to that drink. It took it just from ordinary, regular, plain milk, which is disgusting, which no one wants to drink by itself. Some of us do. I get that. For me, that was never the appeal to milk, right? But when you stirred in that chocolate and you watched it change from white to slightly darker, slightly brown, and then you saw it just got rich with this chocolate, and you knew that this was going to be the drink that was worth having. It all happened because of that stirring action. See, if you drank it without stirring it first, it tastes mostly like milk still, and then you get that little bit of chocolate at the end. But when you stir it, that's when the change happened. Now that really sticks out to me because I've been reading in Ezra lately for my own personal devotions, and God has just been kind of putting this on my heart over and over and over again. If you go to Ezra 1, here's what it says in verse 5. It says that God stirred the hearts of the priests and the Levites and the leaders of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin to go to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple of the Lord. See, God did something. He did that stirring work inside of a heart, not inside of a glass of chocolate milk, but inside of someone's heart. He stirred them, and he didn't just stir them to do something that maybe they would have already done already or something that wasn't that big of a deal, but to literally rebuild the temple. God put that in their heart. He challenged their heart. He stirred their heart. And I think sometimes we get that stirring happening, and it's like if we were in that cup and we're just pushing back against it, say, no, I don't want you to stir this because that would challenge me to do something new and do something crazy and do something that just seems so ridiculous and so over the top. But see, God challenges our hearts. He stirs our hearts to do something that seems unimaginable, seems impossible. And he did that with the Levites, with the priests, and with the leaders of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. He stirred their hearts to rebuild this temple. And when I think about my own life and I think of what God has stirred my heart to do, He stirred me to take jumps, to take leaps that I never thought possible, to put myself in ministry situations that I didn't think I could even get myself towards. And God has continued to stir my heart for this goal of multi-site that we have. That we would be able to continue to for our vision for our church, right? Our vision is that we want to see the spiritual climate of the state of Rhode Island radically changed. God stirred my heart for that. And I think that He can do that through our goal of multi-site. Not just us alone, but it's going to be about the church, the capital C church in Rhode Island, coming together to make that happen. See, that's where I want to challenge you once again to be a part of those together prayer gatherings that Dave's going to do. Our founding pastor, Pastor Dave. There's going to be 9 events across the state where you can go and you can talk to God with a group of other believers throughout the Church of Rhode Island. And you can ask God to stir your heart for this state. So I'd encourage you to go to togetheradvancethegospel.com and you can register there for either the prayer gatherings or the prayer walks. But I'm going to be asking you, would you ask God to do that stirring work inside of your heart? This is something that I've already been asking our students to do. God, would you do that stirring work? Would you stir me to something new? Would you stir me to do something that I never thought imaginable or possible? But would you do that kind of work inside of my heart? So I hope that you'll be a part of those prayer events. I hope that you will join us for our 9 and 11 a.m. Sunday services this week. And ask God during our services, God, will you stir my heart? Will you speak through the word that is given? Will you speak through your word in order to stir my heart to something new, to something crazy, to something unimaginable, to something impossible? And would you give me the effort, the due diligence, the work that these guys had, the faithfulness that they had That's the word I'm looking for. The faithfulness that they had in order to follow that stirring, in order to allow you to stir and to not push back against it, trying to do everything within our own power to resist it. So that's 9 and 11 this coming Sunday morning. Remember, we're going to have nursery, kids, and students at our 9 a.m. service, but we still need you to register for both of those services. If you're going to bring your kids with you, we need you to register them as well. This is just so that we can be prepared for who's coming, and we know that we have enough space for all of you. But I want to come back to this. Let me read this one more time. God stirred the hearts of the priests, the Levites, and the leaders of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin to go to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple of the Lord. Now, what if we personalize this and we say, God, will you stir my heart, the heart of Justin, to go to your state, to go to Coventry, to go to Providence, to go to Rhode Island, wherever it is in Rhode Island, and do the impossible and do the unimaginable and bring people closer to you. See, that's my prayer for myself and my prayer for you. And I hope that you will join me in those prayers, that you would ask God, God, will you stir my heart for this state? It's been so good to be here with you, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.